This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam in for Jeff, hiding my flip-flops. Let's see them. Happy Friday. Yeah. Feels good. We made it.
Yeah. Oh, almost. Yeah, most of you made it to the show, but you're still flip-flops. You're still 10% beach down there.
Yep. I'm from Santa Cruz.
Shout out.
I'm Sam in for Jeff. It used to be said that there were no good roles for women over 40 in Hollywood. Well, times have changed, especially at the Venice Film Festival, where older actresses are making waves. Nicole Kidman, who's 57, is premiering her new erotic thriller, Baby Girl, at the festival. She plays a high-powered executive who has an affair with her much younger intern. Nicole even told Vanity Fair the movie is so steamy, she didn't know if she would have the bravery to watch it in Venice. Then Angelina Jolie, who's 49, wiped away tears after receiving a 10-minute standing ovation for her film Maria, about the life of opera singer Maria Callas. And Cate Blanchett, who's 55, is in Venice to promote her new Apple TV Plus series, Disclaimer. She's been seen at multiple events looking stunning. Wow. Oh my gosh. So here's the thing. Has Hollywood changed its tune when it comes to older actresses, Erica?
I think the world has changed its tune as to what is old and the idea of aging in general. I think we have, as a country and really as a world, has made it very clear that it's important that we support things that represent us, that we see ourselves in some way. And the idea of aging is just a part of life. So yeah, I think that Hollywood is responding to that.
I will say this, and everyone will freak out, or unless you've heard this, but J-Lo and Dorothy from the Golden Girls were the same age. Like, our 52 and 53, much like what we were saying, is just not what it was beforehand. I also think a lot of these women are producing their own movies. Like, Nicole Kidman's like, okay, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to do Big Little Lies with Reese Witherspoon. I'm going to go ahead and work with Kerry Washington.
Small indie project on HBO?
Yeah, but they did it themselves.
An indie project.
I was being very sarcastic, Sam.
But they created it. They created it because it wasn't being done.
But here's the thing, though. The necessity, it's kind of like when we talk about anything that isn't being sent to market and there is a market for it, then there's a responsibility amongst people who have the time, the talents, the resources,
money, right,
in order to create their own projects. And right now, that's what's being picked up.
And women are the ones that are on the forefront of this.
Yes.
They are sick of being second in
Why?
line.
Why would that be, Sam?
I know. They're kicking down them doors. They're creating their own opportunities because they're tired of the men not giving them opportunities.
I don't even know if it's that.
It is that.
It is
Even
that.
Longoria was the first to do it.
Well, then why are we
Well, not
having
the
a talk
first,
show?
but-
I guess it just is.
Okay, tell us.
Honestly, Erica, I think it's even your answers, all three of you were very nuanced, but I think this might just be a numbers game. I mean, in the 80s, there would be a blockbuster film that would open, and that was the movie. Every famous male leading actor, female leading actor would go for that part. If you didn't get that part, see you next summer. Now there's how many channels? There's got to be hundreds, and they have to
More
put
opportunity.
content. Right? Yes, absolutely.
But
And
opportunity
they have
has
to
to
put
come with-
content on there 24 hours a day.
Right.
And how many times have you turned on Netflix and there's like a famous actor that's done a movie that's gone straight to Netflix, didn't even go to the theater?
Right, but I think both things can be
true,
right.
right.
But I was mostly right.
No, I think both things can be true because what's happened is when you are denied opportunities, there aren't the roles for you, there aren't the opportunities for you, you create your own opportunities. And what's been happening, I think of like an Issa Rae, for instance. How often did we see the reflection of the awkward black girl in so many different roles and the opportunity created by Insecure and everything that happened after that? So what's really, I feel like fundamentally is happening in the space is that studios aren't necessarily producing and coming up with these ideas anymore. It's the people who were like, well, I haven't had an opportunity in 5 years, but I created this, and now I'm pitching it with my ownership to the studios. And that's just the way that things are turning in the industry.
I don't think the actor for Baby Reindeer, no one would know his name.
Richard Gadd.
If he didn't have the courage
You didn't
to...
know his name.
Yeah, but she kind
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think he would have had any notoriety if he didn't have the courage to write it up, do that one-man play, and then go ahead and sell it to Netflix.
Yes,
so
and exploit that woman's mental illness. Good on him.
I disagree with you completely.
Way to do it for financial gain, bro.
It's called
his
art, buddy.
story.
That's what you do.
Really? I mean, but we
All right,
shouldn't
all
celebrate
right.
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we are. I think he
Okay.
showed a nuanced version of himself.
Yeah, check cleared.
Okay, speaking of actors, actress Aubrey Plaza says she has not seen her season of The White Lotus yet.
So Aubrey.
So Aubrey, she was one of course, the breakout stars of the HBO series, but she told the Wall Street Journal she hasn't yet streamed it because she forgot her Mac's password. She said she usually just gives up when she can't figure out the passwords. Aubrey said she keeps asking HBO for a DVD of the series, but they don't send out DVDs anymore.
No, stop it.
Yeah,
What do you mean stop it? This is so relatable. I
it's
always
not.
forget my passwords.
Yeah,
and
reset your password and move on with
takes
your life.
forever with
It
the
does.
remote.
It takes
With a
35
remote?
seconds.
No, it doesn't.
And you can't use your password, and you can't
Yes.
use the numbers, and you can't use
Right.
your mother's name, God forbid, or your father's name, or your
Come
pet.
up with
you have
a
to
new
add
one.
a symbol.
Yeah, it's like you have to do a somersault and a handstand, own a chocolate lab. Like, what do you want?
Do you know, like, there are people that used to have, like, really tough lives?
I know.
Used to tar roofs for a living in the Florida sun.
Coal mines.
And now you guys are like, I have to add a money sign instead of an S.
My thing is, okay, all right, so the password thing, my issue more so is that Anthony came into our marriage with all of the accounts. So anytime there's something wrong with the password, I got to text him, and then he's like, well, I'm in a meeting. Well, can you just accept the thing? Well, I'm doing the, you know, it's like, it's a whole thing. But why can't you just switch it on one television? Why does it have to be every television in the house?
And every device?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
once
they
I'm
can't do it
in under
individually
this
for
roof,
everybody's
I should
crib,
be in
Erica.
under the whole roof.
They're running a business. They can't do that for, oh, this is your son's bedroom. They don't care.
Yeah, but it should be under
Aren't you
one.
happy we have this?
I am very happy we have it, but
You
I
know,
am
'cause
saying the password situation can be problematic.
I
That's
just
all
feel
I'm
like
saying.
we're focusing on the problem, but what's on the other side of that problem is everything that's ever been recorded in history.
Yeah.
So maybe
make
we
it
can be a
easier.
little happy.
Make it easier for us. Make it easier.
Yeah, I agree with Tori.
Make it
Erica.
easier.
Okay, let's talk about, speaking of TV shows, the wait is almost over for the second part of the 5th season of Yellowstone. Tori's so excited.
Yeehaw.
It premieres on November 10th. We're going to get a first look at the final season, which won't feature Kevin Costner's John Dutton. He left the series to work on his Horizon movies. Watch.
The thing you care about. What I'm doing isn't for the ranch, it's for us.
I spent my whole life here.
Me too. You destroy me, you destroy yourself.
Unlike you, I keep my promises.
What do you think, Tori?
I'm really excited, but I gotta be honest, it's Kevin Costner that just holds it down for me. I love all the actors, but the gravitas that comes with him, with Dutton, the Dutton Ranch, seeing him strolling in those jeans, he looks good in a pair of jeans. I don't know, there's something a little bit different. It's like when your favorite character on it's like, if like,
Maybe like House of Cards.
yeah, you obviously not the same because of Kevin Spacey and all the issues,
Well,
but
the lead character was not there for whatever reason.
yeah, but the sort of center, the gravitas, the center. I'm saying words again. He's missing. And for some reason, Kevin Costner plays the same guy in every single thing. Remember
likes
Robin Hood?
Yeah, he likes
He's
his role.
I'm doing this.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't even have an accent.
Yeah, right.
But somehow I enjoy that.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's because of our age, right? Because he's very nostalgic for us.
Yeah.
And, now more than ever, we're seeing how that's so romanticized because we're now in our 40s.
You're right.
And I think, to your point, though, the demo is definitely 40 plus who watches this. So I do think it will hurt them.
I do, too.
If it was a younger demo that wasn't so attached to Kevin Costner, I think it would be a lot easier to move on.
But in this case, are they like invested in the story rather than just
I'm sure.
But the story surrounds Dutton. Like, it's all about him. Every person comes back to him. So it's like having a murder mystery without, like, Miss Marple. How crazy would that be?
I mean, there have been spin-off series, spin-off prequels, and post the main character. So I think that we've seen this before.
Yeah, it's just not going to work without
Dutton.
Costner. Yeah.
Are you sure it's not going to work?
Yeah, it's going to Costner them a lot.
I just kept talking till I set her up.
Coming up on DBL, we are talking with comedian Michael Rapaport all about celebrating 10 years of his podcast. And Wendy Williams is spotted in public for the first time in more than a year. Erica is going to break it all down in her segment, What Erica's Watching.
Welcome back. Brandy's got her eye on who she wants to fill her glass slipper. How did Keke Palmer celebrate her birthday? And Wendy Williams is on track for a comeback. In this week's What Erica's Watching. Now first, Brandy says a few actors come to mind if she were to make a movie about her life growing up in the spotlight. And Halle Bailey is at the top of her list. However, some fans are pushing back, only because Halle has already been cast to play Janet Jackson in an upcoming movie about the King of Pop. Well, I want to be down for a Brandy biopic starring Halle, but both queens are only one of 3 Black Disney princesses. So I say if the glass slipper fits, we must work it. Childhood star, actor, musician, and TV executive Keke Palmer celebrated turning 31 with friends and family, including her ex-partner Darius Jackson and their bundle of joy, Leo. She's also shutting down pregnancy rumors because someone commented on a photo with a loved one's hand on Keke's stomach. But here's the Keke. Big Boss Mother says she is not pregnant because she celebrated her birthday by getting Liddy Committee. Finally, after the shocking Wendy Williams docuseries, the former talk show host has finally resurfaced after a year. While Wendy's on a healthy path of healing and wellness, she was spotted in Jersey shopping with her son, smiling for the camera. And all I have to say to that is, yas, Wendy, I'm wishing you the best on your comeback journey. DBL Nation, thank you for watching. Also, if you want to continue to see what catches my eye, join my comeback community by following me at Erica Cobb on Instagram. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. He's appeared in more than 60 movies. He's been podcasting for more than a decade. Earlier, Michael Rapaport joined us. We talked about politics and why his podcast is standing the test of time. Take a look.
Michael Rapaport.
Yeah. How are you guys?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm pulled over on the side of the road in New Jersey, and I wish I was, at my home on my computer, but I'm happy to be talking to you guys. I'm sorry to see you guys go, but I've been a fan of the show, and I love coming on the show.
Congratulations, first of all. You launched your semi-weekly podcast 10 years ago. So how has your podcast changed over time? I follow you on Instagram. You're always changing with the times.
That's a good question. I mean, when I started doing the podcast, everybody didn't have a podcast. Now everybody has a podcast. I love doing it. I think it's probably the biggest change is that I talk about more social and political issues. I didn't even discuss, care, or have a strong opinion about political issues 10 years ago, but I do now. But, you know, it's still a lot of fun, still a lot of trash talk, still a lot of sports, pop culture, and, of course, all my housewife stuff.
That's what makes you unique. I love it, man. Now, you did something really cool. You recently polled the streets of New York to see who New Yorkers will be voting for president. Did anybody say Eric B.?
Nobody said Eric B, but I was hoping for somebody to say Eric B for president, or Rakim, or maybe you know, somebody else. But no, it was a bunch of, it was pretty divided. I mean, it was, you know, probably the worst day of weather for the summer, but I was surprised that it was as divided as it was. I mean, you know, this election is going to be, I mean, probably the craziest in history, and we're coming off one that was really crazy. We're coming off of two that were really crazy in the last 8 years. So it's, I think it's going to be tight.
I think the momentum is on Kamala and Walz. I think that J.D. Vance was the wrong pick. I think he should have picked a woman, maybe a Nancy Mace from South Carolina. And I think he's scrambling and a little bit rattled. And I wanted to ask you, I know this is private, but if you're free to share, which candidate has your vote?
I'm not sure.
Fair.
I've said a lot about, you know, about this. I've talked a lot about this. You know, I've turned into a one policy person.
Totally.
And you know, I never thought I would say that I don't know.
Can I ask you if possibility of not voting is in your head? Because I think a lot of people feel this way.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately I'm going to vote, but a possibility of not voting is a way of sort of protesting in a way. But then if I don't vote, can I complain? I'm trying to figure it out. I have time to figure it out. I am putting in the work to figure it out. I'm putting in the time and the energy to figure it out, more so than in the past.
One more question. I'm sorry for hogging, but do you think the mics of the presidential candidates should be muted if they do agree to debate?
To be totally honest, you know, the last debate, I thought it was the way a debate should be. I don't think that it should be this tit for tat. I don't think it should be this bullying. I think it should be policies, policies. And I did say after that debate that I thought this is the way a debate should be. And, you know, instead of interrupting and, you know, getting into I call it snapping, a snap contest. It should be just like that.
Agreed, Michael. And we just want to thank you for joining us all these times. Like, we appreciate you. And DBL Nation, make sure to tune into Michael's podcast. I am Michael Rapaport on your favorite podcast platform, and visit michaelrapaportcomedy.com for live tour dates. Thank you again, Michael. Good to see you.
I appreciate you guys. And I'll talk to you guys soon. And whatever you guys wind up doing next, I support, and I can't wait to see what happens to each one of you guys individually, and the crew and the producers and all that.
Thank you.
You know, I'm wishing everybody well, and a kick butt rest of 2024.
Thank you.
Right on.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. Bye, Michael.
We needed that.
Welcome back. You can never be too safe when it comes to your home or business, especially if you live in a natural disaster-prone area. That's why ServPro is dedicated to helping you in an emergency and emergency situations. They are a leading disaster relief company and the #1 choice when it comes to cleanup and restoration. Their highly trained experts are available 24/7 with rapid response times. To learn more, you can go to servpro.com. Now, before we go, this came out yesterday, but we didn't have a chance to comment on it. Nikki Glaser will be the host. Tori's already reacting for the next Golden Globes. In a statement, Nikki said she hoped to continue the time-honored tradition of hosting the Globes and joked it also might get her canceled. Critics and audiences haven't been kind to the past 2 hosts. First, there's Gerard Carmichael, I should say, and then Joe Coy. Well, he got raked over the coals after he was tapped to host just 10 days before the show. Tori, and then of course Ricky Gervais for 5 years and very beloved, even though the next day a lot of people would pick apart, saying it was too controversial.
Right.
But he was beloved by at least the people in the room.
He was so good because he roasted them. He didn't take them seriously. He wasn't beneath them. He could do it. If you don't know Nikki Glaser, I've looked up to her as a comic for years. She is hysterical.
And we interviewed her.
We did, and she had her breakout moment, Sam, at the roast for Tom Brady. And she's always been a good roaster, but by God, did she not just nail Tom Brady? And people started to take notice, and she's getting more and more jobs. And suddenly the Golden Globes comes along, and it's perfect for her because she kind of looks, sweet, nice, and then she just daggers you to the heart. So big shout out for Nikki. She's been really working the pavement. Is that what you say?
Yeah, what would you call that? Working the rooms?
She's been a working comic for years.
Okay.
Yes, that's how. Yeah, she's not a gumshoe.
I'm still angry about Joe Coy. Like, he did not deserve that.
But, I mean, he did and he didn't. And what I say like that is, like, Joe's one of us. He's a real comic. And that audience was not Joe's audience. This is Nikki's audience, kind of well-to-do white women.
Right.
And so, like, she is allowed to say what they think. She's on the podcast that they listen to. She will do fine. Joe Coy I've done those shows. You're walking into a Lion's Den, the audience doesn't know you. They all know each other. So if you make a comment, why are you making fun of my girl Erica's outfit? Oh, I think my girl Tori looks good in red. But when Nikki Glaser makes fun of your outfit, yeah, girl, she got you. Oh, Tori, can you believe Nikki Glaser made fun of you? Comedy is perception. And there's always this old saying I always remember in stand-up, and it's basically like, the audience wants to like you, but at first they need to know that you like them. And Joe came out and he tried to engage, and I've done that show where he feels it, and either you say, I'm going to be professional and get through this,
or take it out on
or you got, and so Joe would have done what I would have done.
Yeah, and
Joe's jokes were fine.
And he had 10 days to prepare.
Yeah,
right.
He had no time.
It was fine. The reaction, not giving anybody anything, is tanking the show.
Yes.
And they did that on purpose.
Wow. So well
Shout out
said.
Joe Coy.
Shout out Joe Coy. DBL's new every day. We'll be back Monday. Boop.